So today we have 3 sessions. First I'll start. I am Ruchika. I'll be taking IR. After IR we are going to have social issues that Ms. Shivi will be taking that, and after that there will be polity and governance. Mr. Mayank will be taking that, and tomorrow again we have a session. First it will start with Mr. Jatin, who is going to take economics, and after that we have Mr. Sarthak, who will be taking science and technology and internal security, and last session Mrs. Pratibha, she will take environment. So let's begin with international relations. What were the important things that happened last month? From international point of view, from IR point of view, what important things had happened last month? Don't, see in your notebook. Just recall. This is not a test.
Iran and Saudi.
Okay, Iran and Saudi thing. How many of you are expecting interview calls? Oh, good. So, what were the important things that happened last month, January? Starting from 1st January. कहीं बॉम्ब आया था? Where? Yes. Apart from that, what else was in the news last month? AIIB Bank. Okay. So many people, no voices. क्या क्या हुआ था लास्ट टाइम, लास्ट मंथ में इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस के पर्सपेक्टिव से? Okay, lifting of sanctions. What else? TPP. Okay. And okay, how many of you have gone through today's newspaper? What are the main events with respect to IR? Barack Obama is visiting Cuba for confidence building measures. Yeah. Someone is visiting India for CBM also, confidence building measures. Nepal's Prime Minister. Okay. See, international relations, yeah, ये सारी चीजें, whatever is there in the current, please try to recall it. In the exam also they are asking, like paper 2 and paper 3 especially, it's more of current oriented. So things should be in your mind, what is happening, why it is happening, what are the repercussions with respect to India, with respect to the global scenario. So you have to go through it. First thing, you all have the booklets. You can open this thing, international relations. I think it's 2.1. First thing was WDR. What is WDR? World Development Report. Who publishes this World Development Report? World Bank. Okay. See, I'll be discussing the things. Things are given there in your this thing, answer booklets or whatever you say it. It is given there. I'll be discussing what's the importance of this, how you can utilize this piece of news in either your mains, prelims, or those who are expecting a call in your interviews. What kind of questions might be asked? What's the relevance of this? Because current में generally people come and they say, मैम करंट में इतना कुछ होता है, समझ नहीं आता क्या पढ़ना है, इसका क्या इम्पोर्टेंस है, हाउ टू यूज इट, दिस पीस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, हाउ टू यूटिलाइज दिस. सो फर्स्ट थिंग दैट केम वाज फॉर लास्ट मंथ वाज WDR, वर्ल्ड डेवलपमेंट रिपोर्ट. what is the title of world development report? How many of you have gone through this WDR 2016? किसी ने देखा? Yeah, what is it? It talks about digital dividends. WDR 2016. It talks about see, it's important from all the perspectives. Paper 2, paper 3, interview, prelims, essay. You might get an essay on digital divide or impact of digital technology on human development. You might get that topic in essay. And right now our government of India is focusing on digital things. Yesterday only one thing was inaugurated, e-mandis, e-agriculture mandis Madhya Pradesh mein start hui. Yeah. So we are talking about Digital India program, we are talking about E-Kranti, we are talking about NEGP. What is NEGP? National E-Governance program, number 2 has come up. Then there is the Zero Basics. What is that? Zero Basics. Mark Zuckerberg was here. So much of criticism about that. Then apart from that, issues of big data. These topics you can write. You might get a question in your interview. They might ask you simply, okay, zero basics and net neutrality. Do you think zero basics should be allowed in India? You have to be ready with your positives and negatives, pros and cons. So from this perspective, this WDR this year is very important because the whole world is talking about digital. And another new thing that has come up, a new term that has come up was fourth industrial revolution. Davos में बात हुई थी World Economic Forum में. They talked about fourth industrial revolution. How many of you know about what is fourth industrial revolution? Basically, it's an amalgamation of your physical, digital, biological technologies. Everything is being amalgamated. So world is talking about fourth industrial revolution. So in that context, WDR is very important, and the thing is you must read it. पूरी पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. You don't need to read the whole WDR, only the preface or what you call it, executive summary. Executive summary, whenever such kind of reports come in the news, whether it's World Development Report, whether it's like nutritional report, any report which is published by these organizations like World Bank or UN or IMF, please go through the executive summary, either preface and conclusion. So that will help you in your essays also, in your paper 2, paper 3 also, and that gives you an idea. Like WDR talks about how this thing, digital technology, has improved the lives across the globe, but at the same time it talks about how many people are offline, they are deprived of this development. So one example, like it has given Kenya. In Kenya, there is M-Pesa scheme has started there. So M-Pesa scheme has reduced the cost of remittances by up to 90%. So these kind of things you can underline in the report and you can quote it anywhere. इंटरव्यू में भी आप बता सकते हो, अगर आपको ऐसे आता है आप उसमें लिख सकते हो, और how developments across the world have happened because of this thing. Then it also talks about digital divide. Then it also, see, I am not going to tell you what all it talks about. I am just giving you some examples. It talks about how the world has developed with the help of digital technology, what has been the lacunas, who have not been able to get those benefits, what are the major problems behind that, and it talks about analog components. What are analog components? Analog component, what is analog? Most of you are engineers, I know. What is analog? Analog means उसके parallel में जो चीज़ें ज़रूरी हैं. Digital technology is there. Then it also talks about analog components. Analog components, analog complements मतलब कि what should be done, how this technology can be made available for the maximum people across the globe. So it talks about laws, it talks about how to penetrate this digital technology in the world. So this analog complements, if you come across this word in the WDR, please read it. It gives you solutions. You get questions on paper 2, paper 3 में आते हैं कि टेक्नोलॉजी को कैसे फर्दर इम्प्रूव करें, लाइक हाउ NEGP कैन बी फर्दर इम्प्रूव्ड, हाउ E-Kranti कैन बी इम्प्रूव्ड. You might, definitely you will be getting one question from this digital thing in your mains this time, because so many things are in the news. Yeah, so read this report. So that's all I can tell you about this report. You have to read it yourself.
What's the difference between digital dividend and ICT? Because it says that you need broader strategies for.
Yeah, you need broader strategies for digital thing and ICT. ICT is only information communication technologies. Digital is one step ahead of that. And ICT का जो है is one of the means used in the digital technology. Okay. Analog complements, it talks about how to better our regulations, our laws, how मतलब it talks about the solution part कि क्या क्या चीज़ें उसमें होनी चाहिए to further make use of this technology. Okay. Now the other thing, that is second thing. What is the second thing that is in your papers? It talks about TFA. TFA in service sector. What is TFA? Okay, like there are two issues. India is asking for TFA in service sectors, and India is also the second thing. If you turn the page, it also talks about new pro-corporate issues. So we will be doing both the things, TFA and but before that, we will discuss what was GATT, then WTO, and then GATS. Because you should be clear with these three terms, then only you can understand this. So what was GATT? General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. कब से कब तक was it? 1948 से लेके 1994. 1st January 95, WTO came into being. Which agreement, through which agreement WTO came? Marrakesh. Where is Marrakesh? Morocco. It's a major city. See, when you read the thing, for UPSC preparation, there is nothing which is isolated. If you are reading, say, Marrakesh, please take 5 minutes and see it in the globe. Where is it? Because आज के time पे everything is integrated. Geopolitics is integrated. Many of you are having optionals in your mains as geography, so you should be clear. Try to link everything. So this WTO came after the Marrakesh Agreement in 1st January 1995. WTO was established. What was the purpose of GATT? Why we had GATT, then we had WTO. GATT वगैरह का क्या purpose है? नहीं, this GATT, what was the purpose of this GATT? To facilitate trade between countries. अब trade facilitate कैसे होगा? It has to be rationalized. Tariff, non-tariff barriers have to be reduced. There should be a proper coordination. There should be a proper flow of goods, clearance of goods, timely delivery of goods. So that is why the GATT was there. Then after Marrakesh thing, WTO was formed, and now GATS. What is GATS? General Agreement on Trade in Services. Because India is saying TFA in service. So you should know कि ये सर्विस सेक्टर वाली चीज किस में आएगी? GATS, General Agreement of Trade in Services. Write it down, then I'll move ahead. This is a WTO treaty since 1995. ये अभी की चीज नहीं है. This GATS is since 1995, and all the members of WTO. How many members are there in WTO? Approximately 162. So all the members are signatories to GATS, GATS, and it was formed as a result of Uruguay round. There are certain rounds. जो भी discussions WTO में होती हैं, there are rounds like Doha round, Marrakesh round, Uruguay round, Bali round. Try to read about these things, because right now we are not doing these things in very much detail. I am just giving you some brief idea, and you have to do your homework yourself. So all the present members of WTO, they are the signatories of GATS, and WTO has one basic principle, that is which is followed by GATS also. MFN, most favored nations. ये वर्ड यूज करते हैं, सुना है, कभी पढ़ा है अखबार में. MFN, most favored nations. Most favored nations means all the members of WTO will be having equal say. वो एक दूसरे को equal, they will be treating each other at par. But there are certain exceptions when it comes to developing and underdeveloped countries. Otherwise, all the member countries will treat themselves at par to each other. So it also follows MFN. So now come to the topic. This background was required at least. Now TFA, what is TFA? Trade Facilitation Agreement. What do you mean by Trade Facilitation Agreement? To facilitate trade, agreements are signed to remove tariff and non-tariff barriers. Now TFA in service sector, why India is saying we need TFA in service sector? Because we have an upper hand in this sector. One thing. Second thing is what? अगर हम service sector की बात करेंगे, there will be more liberalization of visa, people to people movement, more business visas will be there, more employment generation will be there, more trade will be there. What else? More export will be there. So this is why India is saying we want GATS service sector के लिए. अब now the thing is, the thing that was in news is India is saying TFA in service sector and focusing on mode 1 and mode 4. That is given in your this thing also. India is saying we want mode 1 and mode 4. So what is mode 1, what is mode 4? Are you aware of this thing? Okay. For modes of supply of services, there are 4 modes. Write it down and I will explain it. There are four modes of supply of services. Mode 1, which we called is cross-border supply. Write it down and then I'll explain it. Mode 1 is cross-border supply. Mode 1 is cross-border supply. Mode 2 is consumption abroad. Consumption abroad. Mode 3 is establishment of legal entity. I have simplified it so that you can easily understand it. Establishment of legal entity, and fourth is your movement of natural person. These are the 4 modes जो GATS के अंडर supply of services के modes हैं. These are 4 modes. Now India is saying we want this and this. So what is mode 1? Say for example, a doctor in India, जो हमारा BPO service है वो that is mode 1. Say a doctor in India is treating a patient in USA, telemedicine के through कर रहा है, तो that is mode 1. BPO, जैसे BPO में काम होता है कि you are sitting in India but you are treating somebody or you are doing a business for somebody in USA. You are not moving, you are not opening your establishment there. So that is mode 1, cross-border supply. You are sitting in India and treating a patient in USA. Then consumption abroad. Consumption abroad, supposingly a doctor is sitting in India. he is treating a US national who is living in Europe. 3 countries involve हो गई. Person sitting in India is treating someone in Europe who is a resident of US. That is your consumption abroad. Establishment of legal entity. So establishment of legal entity means a doctor from India going to US, establishing a clinic there, उनके laws वहाँ पे अपना एक legal entity establish कर रहा है and treating a patient there. That is your establishment of legal entities. And now movement of natural person, which India says कि होना चाहिए. So what is movement of natural person? Same example. Doctor who is working in India is going to US. Supposingly he gets a call from, say, some specialist is there in heart specialist is there in India, and he gets an assignment for one operation in US. So he is going there, doing the operation and coming back. So he is not employed there. He is not even having any legal establishment there, just on project basis पे जाने की बात. That's why India is seeing, because we have so many exports. Even dance troops वगैरह भी service industry में one can go from India, perform there and come back. So that generates revenue, and we have ample of this kind of resource. So that is why India is saying we want cross-border supply and focusing on movement of natural persons. I hope this is clear. This thing was in news. Ki why, what is TFA? Why India is focusing on TFA in service sector, and what are the 4 modes, and what are the 2 modes which India is saying.
Could you please define that
Natural person. Natural person is a normal individual. It's like, see, these are the terms like very human rights जिनके
Natural persons are humans.
Humans
So
are-
opposite is legal, which is
yeah. Natural person versus legal. Legal is when you are having an established entity there. So that is there. Now the second thing that is important with respect to WTO was new pro-corporate issues. That was in news. WTO की 2 news में थी. That were, first thing was this TFA in service sector, and second thing was new corporate issues. Now see, in Geneva, again these members of WTO are going to meet to talk about how to facilitate trade. There, the developing countries and developed countries, they are always 2 groups. So developed countries are saying कि हम कुछ नए कॉर्पोरेट रूल्स लेकर के आते हैं, नए कॉर्पोरेट चीज़ें लेकर के आते हैं एजेंडा में. So those new corporate things that is given in your this thing also. The new corporate things talks about like value chains, e-commerce, environmental issues, labor issues, new things to be discussed. Now India and other developing countries, see, this analysis is more important, otherwise what things are new corporate, that is given there. Now India and other developing countries are saying कि if they bring in new corporate issues, they will come up with their standards. अपने standards लगाएंगे कि if you have to follow environmental issues, then that should be at par with these standards. If you are talking about, say, selling of carpet, it should be at this standard. Like India में child labor है, ये है, वो सारी चीज़ें at times they don't import from India. So they will be coming up with their own standards. अगर आप स्टैंडर्ड ही हाई कर दोगे और हमारा स्टैंडर्ड डेवलप नहीं है, तो इट विल एक्ट एज अ नॉन टैरिफ बैरियर. आवर एक्सपोर्ट्स विल डिक्रीज and their market will increase. So that is why India and other developing countries are opposing new corporate issues. Second thing India is saying, there are certain pending issues also. First, जो चीज़ें we have already started discussing, we should finish those pending issues and then we should go ahead with something new. So what are those pending issues? It's given in your box also. That is special safeguard agreements, that is mechanism, special safeguard mechanism and permanent solution for public stock holding of public stock holding of food security. Now India is saying ये जो दो पुराने issues हैं, let us finish that. So what is SSA? Special safeguard mechanisms. What happens, देखो मोटा मोटा इस बात को समझो. The thing is at times imports become very high and which बाहर से चीज़ सस्ती आती है and it hampers our own market, domestic market. So in that case developing countries can raise the taxes, import taxes बढ़ा सकते हैं, ठीक है. तो that to protect our own farmers and our own market. So that SSA issue, इसके ऊपर भी debate है whether it should go on or it should be continued. So that is again, this is one issue. So first discuss this, then go for environmental issues or labor issues or something else. The second thing is public stock holding of food security. What is public stock holding of food securities? What happens, like developing countries, they are always having food shortage या उनके PDS public distribution programs चलते रहते हैं, and for that just to ensure their own food security they give certain, what they give to their farmers, subsidies देते हैं उनके पास. they have this thing, food security basket उनका strong होता है. at times it happens कि godowns में रह जाता है वेस्ट होने की बजाय. what they do is, like if it is surplus, like India was also penalized, or not penalized, rather it was criticized for selling of this surplus in the market, export करने के लिए. So at times it happens when we have surplus we would export it, and then developed countries they say कि we have asked you to give subsidies for your consumption but you are selling it off, and that distorts the international market. So उससे क्या होता है, इंटरनेशनल मार्केट खराब हो जाती है. सो दैट इज वाई यू डोंट डू दिस. तो ये स्टार्ट हुआ है आपका बाली से. दिस थिंग बाली कॉन्फ्रेंस से शुरू हुआ है 2013 टू 2017 तक का टाइम दिया हुआ लिमिट कि अप टू दिस लिमिट ओनली यू कैन स्टॉक पाइल योर फूड स्टफ. आफ्टर दैट दिस विल नॉट हैपन, दिस शुड नॉट हैपन. बट डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज still have this problem of food security. So with respect to India, अभी recently पढ़ा भी होगा आपने, with respect to India we have signed a peace clause with US. अगर नहीं पढ़ा है तो प्लीज ये टर्म्स को लिख लो, go and find it out, because one topic cannot be discussed in too much detail in this short period. So there is a peace clause with USA. Here we have discussed with USA, and USA has said okay you can do your stockpiling but there is no time limit. Earlier because of Bali package it was till 2017, but USA has exempted us कि आप बात कर सकते हो. But the thing is India is asking there, or developing countries are asking, there should be a permanent solution to it, and that is there what they say, developed countries are saying that you should go for cash transfer. That is why so many cash transfer schemes are being run in developing countries. इंडिया में भी कितनी कैश ट्रांसफर स्कीम्स आ रही है ना अभी. तो one of the reasons was कि they said कि instead of giving subsidies as and when required, give them cash transfers. So still a permanent solution needs to be chalked out. That is why India is saying let us work on this and then go for the new corporate laws. And you know these FTAs, अभी जो FTA है फिलहाल जो हमने FTA की बात की, that is only in merchandise. अभी तक सर्विस में FTA नहीं बना है. And FTA बनने का फ़ायदा, अगर supposingly FTA is ratified by all the countries, India has not ratified it yet. Out of 162, 63 countries have ratified it, and India, I think 10 February की न्यूज़ थी कि India is going to ratify it very soon. So once it is ratified, global trade का जो है, global trade will the cost of global trade will reduce by almost 14.5%. बहुत ज़्यादा रिडक्शन होगा, विच इज़ ऑलमोस्ट इक्विवेलेंट टू $1 trillion. So this is how FTAs are useful, and that is why India is saying go for FTA in service sector also. But till date we have FTA only in mercantile sector, that is goods. Services में अभी हुआ नहीं है. I hope things are clear. If not clear, then after the class also we can discuss. Another thing, second issue, that is Beijing's race for Eurasian heartland. How many of you are having geography as an optional, heartland, rimland? पढ़ा है? अभी तो किसी का geography optional नहीं है, I know. है ना? Nobody will say कि I have a geography optional. I am not going to ask you heartland or rimland, but the word heartland. So see how you link it. If you are reading geography, UPSC wants a comprehensive knowledge. You should have that knowledge where you can link the things. Gone are the days when they would ask you very theoretical questions. Now they are asking you questions which are interlinked. Like last year they asked you about War of Panipat, Battle of Panipat. People thought it's history, but it was more economic question. So try to understand and try to link. That will help you in your mains, that will help you even in your prelims also, because they are asking you now more of analytical questions in prelims also. Observational questions also they are asking in prelims. ऐसे में तो help करेगा ही करेगा, interview में भी. They want to see what kind of a person you are, whether you are able to link the things or not, because आज के time पे a good bureaucrat should have a knowledge of Digital India also, should have a knowledge of अभी कौन सी किसान बीमा फसल योजना, he should know that also. He should know, okay, what is one road one belt, he should know what is Operation Mausam. So it's a generalist thing that you are all trying to achieve. So anyways, come to the topic, Eurasian heartland. China's Beijing's race for Eurasian heartland. So what is this, is anyone aware of this? Okay, ठीक है. इससे पहले, before the China started, even USA had one thing, that is 2012 in 2012, USA started one program, Pivot to Asia. So USA was looking towards East, and so China got some skeptical कि USA is going to take over these things, so I should have my own identity. So even they started looking towards Eurasian areas. So Eurasia, what is Eurasia? Europe plus Asia. And how many countries fall under it? 103. So what is this project? This is China's economic and cultural promotion project, where China is looking for development of ports, infrastructures, roads, maritime routes and all those things, so that there is a better connectivity. Then if a better connectivity is there, better trade is there, economic development is there, also people to people movement is also there. So this is one thing. First, why it started? It started because first thing, in response to US pivot to Asia thing. Second thing was, Western market is still suffering from 2008 ka downfall. Stagnation is there. So China is finding an opportunity to build the infrastructure and all those things. Another thing which is very important to be noted, there is right now a kind of conflict between USA and Russia. World over, आप world politics को देखोगे तो USA and Russia के बीच में kind of, at times it is referred in the media that a kind of a cold war has again begun. So natural ally for China is Russia. Opportunity है, इसको contain करने के लिए जो आपका दुश्मन है मैं उससे दोस्ती कर लेता हूँ. So kind of that thing. So in that respect also, China has signed like approximately 400 billion import deal with Russia for next 30 years. Another very important angle is also, one thing is this thing, second thing is slowdown in Western market, third thing is your US and Russia conflict. Number 4 is विद इन चाइना, चाइना के जो वेस्टर्न एरियाज हैं, मेनली योर तिब्बत एंड जिंगजियांग प्रोविंस, सुना है ना, जिंगजियांग एंड तिब्बत, उन एरियाज में भी थोड़ा सेपरेटिस्ट टेंडेंसीज हैं. दे हैव दो सेपरेटिस्ट टेंडेंसीज. देयर आर मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशंस देयर. यू कैन राइट Uyghur, that ethnic tribes is there. You can get a question in PT also. Uyghur tribe कहाँ पे है? तो that is Xinjiang province में है. There also they have that separatist tendencies, Xinjiang and Tibet. उन areas को भी China wants to develop those areas, because if development is there, of course separatist tendencies will be not there. Otherwise they want to, this especially Xinjiang province, they have that separatist tendencies. They want to merge with Turkestan. पढ़ा है कभी, पढ़ते मतलब at times you might have read it. So that separatist tendencies को भी contain करने के लिए, so this policy is also helping it in its domestic development also. क्योंकि ये एरियाज जब तक आपके डेवलप नहीं होंगे, चाइना में इंस्टेबिलिटी रहेगी. तो वन ऑफ द मेजर रीजंस बिहाइंड दैट इज दिस ऑल्सो. सो दिस इज अबाउट चाइनाज यूरेशिया हार्टलैंड पॉलिसी. अब नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट मीन्स, ये इसकी पॉलिसी तो है, बट व्हाट मीन्स इट हैज अडॉप्टेड टू परस्यू दिस पॉलिसी. सो यू ऑल माइट हैव हर्ड इट एंड रेड इट. प्लीज़ अगर नहीं किसी ने पढ़ा है तो इसको तो बिल्कुल आंख बंद करके भी पढ़ना है, बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दैट इज वन बेल्ट वन रोड, वन बेल्ट वन रोड पॉलिसी. सो अगेन दिस इज यूरेशिया के जितने भी एरियाज हैं उनको वन बेल्ट वन रोड को इट इज ट्राइंग टू, through one belt one road it is trying to connect. And इसके दो component है. Those who were in the last IR class they might be knowing it. What are the two components? And maritime Silk Road. Does it touch Africa also? This is Silk Road economic belt and maritime Silk Road. These are the two components of one road, one belt. So what is Eurasian heartland? We have come to know why it is there. What are the tools it is using to promote that thing? That is also we have discussed. That is these two tools which it is using. Now the question is how this is important for India, or what, why it is, how India should take this Eurasian heartland thing. दैट एनालिसिस अगर क्वेश्चन आपको इंटरव्यू में ही पूछ लेता है, हाउ शुड इंडिया बिहेव टू दिस थिंग, और इवन यू गॉट दिस टाइम वन क्वेश्चन ऑन ऑपरेशन मौसम ऑल्सो, यू गॉट वन क्वेश्चन. सो दैट इज वॉट ऑपरेशन मौसम इज अ रिस्पॉन्स टू दिस थिंग. सो सपोजिंगली इफ यू गेट अ क्वेश्चन इन योर मेन्स, हाउ शुड इंडिया react to this OROB? How should it react?
We are defending with the countries which are in the vicinity of China, like Vietnam, Philippines, and
See, China wants India to play a major role in this, and that is why China has brought India on board to AIIB, Asian Development Bank, BRICS and all. उन सब में भी इंडिया को उसने एक रोल, it wants it to be there, it wants India to be included in that. Apart from that, जो Central Asian की economies हैं, what are the main countries in Central Asian economies? Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan and all those things. So they are mainly energy rich countries, oil rich countries हैं, and they also want, because उनके पास उतना infrastructural development नहीं है, तो they also want certain outlets, certain import export linkage for themselves also to be developed. So they are also like China's this thing aim, and their aim is gelling well also. So when the whole world is gelling together, then why should India stay back? Of course India should be cautious. हमें cautious फूक करके कदम रखना है, but we cannot deny that we cannot be a part of this thing. When the whole world is progressing, we have to be a part of this. If you are asked a question in interview, please give in a balanced manner. Like you should be cautious, but at the same time you cannot deny the fact कि हम इस जो revolution और economic revolution और people to people contact बन रहे, we cannot be away from that. Okay, so this is your second thing. Third thing, which is West Asian crisis. The things which will need more explanation, I will discuss in detail. और जिसमें सिर्फ आपको points वगैरह याद रखने हैं, so that is already given. No point repeating those points again. The West Asian crisis deepens between Iran and Saudi Arabia. So what is the difference between, why there is always a discord between Iran and Saudi, Shia and Sunni? Since 1000 years they are just discussing who is going to be the successor of Prophet Muhammad. And so many times we have witnessed their discord. Can you give some examples? Gulf Cooperation Council is there, जहाँ पे इन दोनों का अलग हो रहा है. फिर Syria is one thing, Yemen is one thing. So, but the thing is, why it is in news recently? So, the news is because Saudi Arabia executed leading Shia cleric Sheikh Nimr al-Nimr. So, this is a factual thing जो आपको पढ़ना है कि root cause क्या है, because the Shia and Sunni thing is. But the main thing which is important from analytical point of view is how should India take this conflict between Saudi Arabia and Iran, because for India both are important. Abhi recently, our last month only, our foreign minister, she has visited Saudi Arabia. Gayi thi? Manan declaration was signed there. Are you aware of that? Please keep writing when you are reading newspapers. Keep writing all these things. So anyways, for Gulf is also important, and at the same time Iran is also important. So how should India balance? Because Iran mein we have Chabahar port is there, Bandar Abbas is there, then we have NSTC corridor. What is NSTC? North-South Transit Corridor. What does it talk about? India, Russia, Iran, Central Asia. See all these corridors, BBIN, IMT, this thing NSTC, all those things please brush up कर लो, because one road is again a road वाला corridor है. तो हमारे भी जितने रोड वाले कॉरिडोर्स की बात हो रही है, हाईवेज बनाने की बात हो रही है, इस टाइप की चीज़ों को ट्राई टू, व्हेन यू आर रीडिंग वन थिंग, देन व्हाट आर द इनिशिएटिव्स फ्रॉम इंडिया और व्हाट वेयर ऑल इंडिया इज इन्वॉल्व, ट्राई टू read those things also. So like Iran is important, at the same time Gulf is also important. Gulf, even in Gulf and in India we have Sunni population. One of our like major similarity is that Gulf में we are depending for our oils also. There are so many remittances is there. So that's why India has to treat a balance. India को ना इनसे बिगाड़नी ना इनसे बिगाड़नी है. We have to have a very cautious approach towards both the countries, and we need to have a kind of, we can act as a mediator also, so that दोनों साइड में शांति बनी रहे. It's good for India also. And this China-Iran relations. Next thing, China-Iran, if we see with that Eurasian heartland, उसके साथ we can link it. Why is Iran important? Because Iran has a strategic location, very important, which connects West Asia and Central Asia. So that is why Iran is very important. And 3 days or 4 days back, it was in news. Train from China has reached Iran. पढ़ा है? अच्छा, उसी के साथ सी राजा मोहन का there was one article which is saying how India can benefit from that train. I mean not that train, बल्कि that route. So read that article. I think 3 days or 4 days back. Yeah. So that C Raja Mohan article. C Raja Mohan article is there, which talks about this the train which has started from China, container train, not a passenger train, container train from China to Iran. So how India will get benefited from this thing? India should not remain behind that. India should be benefited. Read those articles. Good articles are by C. Raja Mohan and all, international relations. Please read those articles. So now coming back to China and Iran. China and Iran का जो है, they are two very old civilizations. How many from history? I know no one will be from history, but no one from history, no one from geography, no one is in, yeah. You're from geography, okay. So China and Iran, they have a very old relationship. Han and Tang dynasties and this Iranian civilization, they had a very old relationship. Like since 500 BC से इनका relationship चलता आ रहा है. And from 1950s, they had proper political relationship. Modern times में 1950s से इनके बीच में relationship चल रहा है. See, whenever you get like China, Iran or something, any two countries, try to at least go a little bit into the history also. That gives you an additional marks. If you are writing something which is like, the examiner knows, okay, he knows the historical context also. Just write one line, two lines. That shows your knowledge. And today approximately 2,000 Chinese diaspora is living in Iran. In Iran we have Chinese restaurants also. What does it show? Like they have a very old cultural similarities and they respect each other's similarities. So why this thing was in news? Because Chinese premier, after the sanctions were lifted up, he was the first head of any state who visited Iran. China बहुत smart है. जहाँ time मिलता है मतलब they reach on time. And they discussed it as a new season of Sino-Iranian ties. They have signed a two-way trade of 600 billion. It is given there, no need to again read it. And they have signed agreements in security cooperation, intelligence sharing, counter-terrorism measures and all those things. Iran's importance for China. Because of this one road, one belt thing, China is very important, and China is also trying to have Iran as a member of SCO. What is SCO? Achha, during sanctions also, when sanctions were there, of course China honored the sanctions. But at the same time, sanction के time पे भी their trade also flourished from 3 billion to 50 billion. Sanctions थे, but apart from on those issues for which sanctions were imposed, उनको हटाने के, उनको side रख करके economic and security angle से China had developed a trade with Iran that time only. And when the sanctions were, talks for sanctions were going on, it was only the Chinese jet which got refueled in Iran. किसी और country का कोई भी jet कभी वहाँ पे refueling के लिए नहीं गया था. It was only the Chinese jet. This shows कि China knows the importance of Iran. And that is why, see how things can be linked. China knows the importance of Iran. अभी हमने सऊदी और ईरान वाला चीज़ पढ़ा, तो India should also, because हर चीज़ हर जगह के लिए strategically important है. So how, what angle can India include? Try to think and link the things. Okay, now the 4th Indo-African Hydrocarbon Conference. This we will deal when we will be doing Saudi Arabian oil premium charge. ठीक है? Then first India-Arab Ministerial Conference. What all were decided is given there. No need to discuss it, I think. The only thing that is like, अगर historical perspective से देखेंगे तो India and Saudi Arabia has a relationship of 3 billion BC. 3 billion BC से इनका relationship चल रहा है. 3 millennium BC. So what kind of relationship? Especially your spice route. Malabar coast वाला जो area था, spice route. Try to link with history. So from that time we have a relationship with Saudi Arabia. And then both of us are Sunni dominated populations. And formal diplomatic relationships with Iran since 1947 when we got independence. But there was a thaw in the relationship. Relationship थोड़ी कम हुई, कब हुई और क्यों हुई? Because Saudi Arabia supports Pakistan on Kashmir issue, and during 71 war also it sided with Pakistan. 71 war के बाद कौन सी country was formed? Bangladesh. And LOC कब हुआ 71 के बाद? Shimla Agreement. When was it signed? 72. Okay. So where were we? Okay. हाँ, तो उस time पे relationship went to a low. But again in 1980s we started to improve our relationships. और उसके बाद जो current है, you can read it because these are points you need to remember them. Then Mauritius to extensively offer biofarming technology to India. So Mauritius, ये वाला पढ़ लेना because these are just points. But if you see the relationship or history of relationship of India and Mauritius, then indentured laborers, especially from Bihar and UP, they went there to work in the sugarcane industries, sugarcane farming and all, है ना? तब से है, and many of the heads of the state from Mauritius were having Indian origin. पता है ये? नहीं है तो please पता कर लो. And last year Prime Minister visited 3 countries, Seychelles, Mauritius and Sri Lanka. So from our maritime security, Mauritius and these island countries are very important. So don't just ignore it कि Mauritius है छोटा सा, इसको छोड़ दो. Try to link it with the current happenings. Then why crude oil prices are falling? फटाफट बताओ क्यों fall कर रहा है crude oil का prices? Shale gas. Okay, there is a word used, frackling. What is frackling? कोई इंजीनियर नहीं होगा? पेट्रोलियम इंजीनियर कोई नहीं होगा? What is frackling? Deep dig करते हैं before what? When extraction में क्या use करते हैं? Water. High pressure water mixture is used. है ना? See, when it is that words like frackling and all those things are there, those who are from Hindi background, or this arts background, please don't think कि science का छोड़ दो. They might even ask you, these are the terms which every informed person should know. Whether you are going for civil services or not, that's a separate issue. But if you are an informed citizen, you should be knowing these terms. You should be aware about these terms. So frackling of shale gas is there. Then lifting of sanctions from Iran is there. Apart from that, production बहुत high है. Excess supply is there. So this is something you can very theoretical. Now Brexit. What is Brexit? Possible exit of Britain from European Union. How many countries are there in this union right now? 28. So there is going to be a referendum next year where there are high possibilities that UK will separate from the European Union. So why they want to get separated? There are 2 kind of opinions. One says yes, we should go ahead with the separation. The other British people, they are saying we should not go ahead with that. They have their own arguments. Like British people who want to get separated, they are saying कि अगर हम अलग होते हैं तो there will be freedom from laws and rules and regulations. When you are in one union, you have to follow that. So independence, freedom will be at our own. That is one point. If you are writing, please write it down. And also when you are attached to some group, there is always a cost attached to that. वो freedom आपकी curtail होती है. So they are saying कि अगर हम अलग हो जाएंगे, we'll be free and we'll be happy. And there will be less migration to Europe. Because now people are migrating to Europe for jobs, so many other reasons. So they say कि अगर हम इनके obligation से हट जाते हैं, then there will be less migration. But the other people, they think, especially like migration, they are saying it's not, the people who are migrating to UK, they are not mainly from European countries but from other countries. So even if we get separated from them, so there will be no like drastic reduction in this thing. Then they are saying, the other group is saying there will be loss of jobs also, because we are confined to that European Union. Because of that we are getting trade also, we are getting many contracts also. So if we separate, हमारे यहाँ पे jobs खत्म हो जाएगी. So this one group is saying this, one group is saying that. That's why they are going for a referendum also. And now how the world is viewing this? World क्या इसके बारे में सोच रहा है? So the major international political analyst, they believe कि अगर वो उससे अलग हो जाता है, if it gets separated, there will be no major like benefit to UK. The major world view is like, majority of the world political analysts, they believe like even if it gets separated, so there will be not much of the benefit for Europe, UK, and especially this kind of thinking is by US and China. And moreover, US के the maximum allies are in European Union, so it does not want to destabilize the European Union also. But when you come to India analysts, most of them are of the belief like even if it gets separated, it hardly matters, because since colonial times, historical times, we are very friendly with UK के साथ हमारे relationship बहुत अच्छे रहे हैं. And some of the analysts also believe that it's very easy to deal with one country rather than dealing with a group. So it's good if it gets separated. So let the whole, as the whole world is watching, let us also watch how it takes shape. So that is Brexit. Then India approves MOU with Bangladesh to set up more border huts. Border huts means economic means people to people. Try to link it. This is a very short piece of news. And how like India-Bangladesh relationship pe, if you get a question, you can write one lines ki now they have started border huts and all those things also. And one another thing, like Wagah border mein we have a ceremony, Bangladesh ke border mein we are having ceremony. Are you aware of it? If you are not aware, so please be aware. That ceremony also, closing down वाली जो ceremony होती है जो वाघा border में होती है, that we have also started in Bangladesh, Bangladesh border पे भी start कर दिया है. And another thing which is not given here is Bangladesh calls for river basin agreement. Write this thing and read about it. That was also in the news. Bangladesh calls for river basin agreement. So read, इसको ढूंढो, नेट पे आजकल सब मिलता है, ढूंढो और पढ़ो. See, you should have that curiosity, and curiosity is one thing that they are looking in your personality test, in your answers also, how curious a person you are, that shows. Now 2.11, Sri Lanka begins process to draft new constitution. श्रीलंका में न्यू कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की बात हो रही है ना. When did it start? 9th of January. Because Sri Lanka has been hit by the civil war for very long. Who are the two conflicting groups? Sinilas, who are in majority, and Tamils, who are in minority. So civil war होते होते they are so fed up of war. Now they want some kind of stability and peace so that Sri Lanka can develop. So now they have started to have a new constitution, and for that the present assembly, for like making a new constitution, you need to have a constitution assembly also. होता है, इंडिया में बनी थी. When was our constitution formed? And it was in 1949 it was formed. It was formed by the Constitution Assembly. Similarly, here also the present parliament has been converted into a Constitution Assembly. And the main reason why they are going for this, they want to go for a peace thing. The conflicts between Sinilas and Tamils, they should at least come to an end. Civil war से परेशान हो गए हैं. And then more autonomy at grassroots levels, more democracy, more decentralization. And when the bill will be passed by 2/3 majority in the parliament, then it will go to the provinces, and from there, if it is ratified, then they will go for a new constitution. Another thing which they are talking about in the constitution is, which is not given in this notes, is about executive president. They want to remove this executive president. What is executive president? Polity में होता है, please पढ़ो, because I don't have time to explain you that. Executive president. So what is the negative of having executive president that they have suffered is at times वहाँ पे dictatorship हुई थी, president का dictatorship हुआ था. So that is why they also want to remove this kind of system. Executive presidency हटाना चाहते हैं. Now the issue is, of course they are going for this, but जो मीडिया में या प्रिंट मीडिया में कहीं पे भी हम पढ़ रहे हैं, the issues that might crop up is the Sinhalas. They don't want to give this provincial autonomy to Tamils. So that is one issue which we have to see how it turns out. Second thing is Buddhism. Buddhism has been given the major priority in Sri Lanka, but now they are going for a more liberal kind of constitution. So some orthodox Buddhist monks, they think their autonomy will be curtailed, though the government has said it will not happen, but still again there is that thing in their minds, it might happen. And why this new constitution is good for India? A peaceful solution to our Tamil problem. Migration, Tamil migrants are there, हमारी आपस की coordination नहीं हो पाती, and if the region is peaceful, then that particular area will be good for economic development, people to people trade. So let us see how it turns out. Now Japan-Russia territorial dispute. What is the bone of contention between China and Japan? Which islands? Shankaku Islands. Pardon me?
Other name is Thailand.
Yeah. Now we are talking about Japan and Russia territorial disputes. Supposingly this is Russia, here is Japan, यहाँ बीच में Kuril Islands है, Quril. Kuril Islands. So this is one of the bone of contentions between Japan and Russia. जापान के नॉर्थ में तो इसको ये कई बार नॉर्दर्न टेरिटोरियल डिस्प्यूट भी कहते हैं इसको. See, mainly this is a dispute between Russia and Japan, but at times mainly this is a dispute between this, but there is one ethnic community by Aymu, AYMU, you can write the name, जो कि इन दोनों आइलैंड्स को थोड़ा थोड़ा इनहेबिट करती है. तो एट टाइम्स दोज इंडिजीनियस पीपल्स आर ऑल्सो इन्वॉल्व्ड, बट मेनली इट इज बिटवीन रशिया एंड जापान. सो व्हाट हैपेंड ड्यूरिंग सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर? रशिया अनेक्स्ड दीज आइलैंड्स, क्यूरिल आइलैंड्स. ठीक है, हिस्ट्री इसका क्या है, डिस्प्यूट क्यों है? बिकॉज सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर के टाइम पे रशिया अनेक्स्ड दीज आइलैंड्स. And then what happened कि 1951 में there was one declaration, peace treaty, you can say San Francisco Treaty was signed. See, international relations include your history, your geography, your everything, your polity. Since San Francisco Treaty, it's not given. If you want to just write it down for your knowledge, you can write. San Francisco Treaty 1951 में साइन हुई थी between Japan and Allies. सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर में Allies थे ना, Allied powers थे ना, तो उनके बीच में ये ट्रीटी साइन हुई थी. एंड आफ्टर दैट ट्रीटी ओनली जापान गेव अप इट्स इंपीरियल पावर्स. जो था वो जापान एंडेड एज एन इंपीरियल पावर. सो हिस्टोरिकल पर्सपेक्टिव से भी यू शुड नो दिस व्हाट दिस ट्रीटी वाज. सैन फ्रांसिस्को ट्रीटी 1951. सो व्हेन दिस ट्रीटी वाज signed, Japan gave up all its claim on Kuril Islands.
Is
Ah.
it the same treaty in which they renounced war?
So Japan gave up claims on this thing. Japan was forced to give up claims on Kuril Island, but at the same time, the treaty does not say that Kuril Islands belong to erstwhile USSR, because 51 में तो USSR था. When did it disintegrate? So even that treaty does not say कि USSR, erstwhile USSR's control over Kuril Islands. So now Japan says like there are mainly conflict is happening in 4 islands. ये जो Kuril वाला area है, disturbed water, there are 4 islands. So it's like Japanese name, it's very difficult to recall, even I'm not recalling it right now. So Japan says कि when there are 4 islands, disputed islands, and some of them don't come under treaty also. So why should Russia have claim over this island? So that is the bone of contention. And since many years they have been trying to resolve this, but अभी तक कोई solution नहीं निकला है. But now what is happening, like Japanese Prime Minister, who is Japanese Prime Minister? Shinzo Abe. He was in India also. When did he come? He came in December. गंगा में आरती करने गए थे ना, याद है? चलो. The thing is, Mr. Shinzo Abe and Russian side से कौन है? Vladimir Putin. So they both are very influential leaders, and both of them have control in their respective countries also, and now they are trying to build up this like they are showing their intent to resolve this issue, and that is why like Mr. Abe is planning to go for an informal visit to Russia also, and even Mr. Putin is coming on a formal visit to Japan. So this is going to help. और वैसे भी देखो चाइना जापान का भी डिस्प्यूट है. चाइना रशिया उसके यूरोपियन वन बेल्ट वन रोड में उसकी हेल्प कर रहा है, यूरेशियन पिवॉट में. सो नेचुरली जापान भी सोचेगा कि मतलब दिस इज हाउ थिंग्स आर interlinked and interrelated. So this is about now India to build a satellite station in Vietnam. Please इसको पढ़ लेना. Now amendment in Nepal, which is very important. They might ask you questions. When did it happen? September 2015. So what happened? 7 provinces वहाँ पे बने. Okay, are you aware of the background? Fatapat give me points. What happened? 7 provinces were formed there. Then what happened? Secular बनाने की बात की गई. Okay, so what was the issue? Why India was also criticized on that issue? मधेसीज, who are मधेसीज? तराई रीजन में वो रोटी एंड बेटी का संबंध है. इट इज कॉल्ड इकोनॉमिक एंड कल्चरल रिलेशनशिप वी हैव बिकॉज दे बिलोंग टू originally they belong to India, so they did not get the required or desired representation in the constitution. So there was a strike was going on there, road blockage was there, oil and all those things could not reach there. From Bihar वाले side में elections के time पे भी that was a vote bank politics जो भी था. मतलब the thing was, it was like, and because of this thing India was also criticized. Those who are coming for interviews, expecting interviews, they might be asked, did India observe Gujarat doctrine in this concept? What is Gujarat doctrine? Peaceful coexistence with your neighbors. Or did India act as a big brother or an elder brother? Because India was accused कि आपको वहाँ पे पहल करनी चाहिए थी. You should have taken a prompt action, which you did not take. So these questions might come up in your interviews also. So did India followed Gujarat doctrine? Did India act like a big brother or a elder brother. So these kind of questions they might ask you in interviews. Prepare that. Okay, history क्या थी September वाले edition में, you can read it or you will get it anywhere. Now why is this thing is in news? Because now they have brought certain amendments. What they have brought amendments? What amendments? क्या amendments हुई है? मधेसीज को रिप्रेजेंटेशन देने की बात हुई है. सेकेंड थिंग इज इट इज गिवन देयर, यू कैन रीड इट अपने घर में जा करके. एंड दे हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट इंक्लूसिव सोशल जस्टिस ऑल्सो. बट द थिंग इज मधेसीज आर स्टिल सेइंग कि वी हैव नॉट बीन प्रॉपरली रिप्रेजेंटेटेड. दे वांटेड proportional representation. What is proportional representation? Supposingly there is a constituency. If one party gets 1/3, one party gets 1/2, so in the governance also they will have 1/3 say, they will have 1/2 say. This is called proportional. And in India, do we follow proportional? President and Rajya Sabha. Yes, otherwise we follow the first past the post system. So Madheshis wanted कि हमारी population is 51%, approximately 51%, like in 1 or 2 provinces, like they were given 5 provinces जहाँ पे एक province में ही उनकी majority थी. So they wanted कि we should have at least 2 provinces for Madheshis. And at the same time जो inclusion of social bodies या groups की बात हुई थी, they also had discontent, like Tharus were there and Janjati people were there. So they also said कि okay, now they have asked for, like we will go for social inclusion, but 15 social groups को उसमें include करने की बात कही गई amendment में. But the thing is we don't have any parameters to define who is going to be a socially replied person, who is going to be a peasant, who is going to be a Madhesi person. So that parameter should be properly defined first. And what was the India's reaction? पहले तो India was like, India has given suggestions, but after this thing, so India was happy, like you should go for a peaceful and constructive spirit में ये हो रहा है. This is something which is good, and that is why today only Mr. Oli, Prime Minister of Nepal, has come to India. Earlier they were like bitter relationship हो गया था. To bridge the gap, Mr. Oli has come. Some reporter asked him, I was reading in the newspaper, so with what agenda you have come? He said, I have come with no agenda, I have just come to bridge the gap. फिर से फ्रेंडशिप को दोबारा से जो लो हो गई थी उसको ठीक करने के लिए मैं आया हूँ. This is one thing about this thing. Now another thing that might be asked in your interview or as an individual, you should know. ये तो चलो political issue था, that was highlighted. So if you are asked a question, how progressive is Nepalese constitution, new constitution? Are you aware? See, they have given rights to LGBT people. हमारे यहाँ अभी भी section 377 के लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट में केस चल रहा है. So they have recognized the rights of LGBT people. Second thing is, they have given powers to women also, right in property, right to property. That has also been included in this constitution. That's why it's more progressive. They have abolished capital punishment. हमारे यहाँ दो reasons are different. We are giving capital punishment only in terrorist cases. Though the reasons are different why we are giving, but still after Bhutan, this is the only country in Asia which has abolished capital punishment. Number 4, very important thing that is there in this constitution, it talks about pollution से जो suffer कर रहे, those who are suffering from pollution have the fundamental right to be paid by the polluter. हमारे यहाँ कोई ऐसा right नहीं है. Principle, fundamental right to be paid by the polluter. But still उसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन चलता रहता है ना, how the polluter, अगर कोई प्राइवेट कंपनी कर रही है, but they had made it in their constitution only. So the thing is, these are the things which make it more progressive. Now Naseem al-Bahar 2.15. This is a naval exercise. ये छोटे सा चीज़ आप पढ़ लेना, इंडिया एंड ओमान के बीच में. मालाबार एक्सरसाइज किसके किसके बीच होती है?
India, US.
This time only they have, for which even this China has certain reservations ki why Japan has been included, but the reality is Malabar exercises India, US and Japan, and this is Nasir al-Bahar is India and Oman. You can read it. Last thing, Saudi Arabia oil premium charge. अच्छा, एक और चीज़ वॉज इन न्यूज़, छोटी सी थी, आप पढ़ सकते हो, विद रिस्पेक्ट टू इंडिया जापान डीपनिंग एनर्जी टाइज, दैट वॉज ऑल्सो देयर जनवरी में. These are small things which might not be relevant this month, but maybe down the line if you get a question on India Japan with respect to energy, then you can add those points there. Another thing we will discuss very briefly, that hydrogen bomb tried by North Korea, and what are the reactions of USA and China and why. That we will do in 2-3 lines, so that those who are appearing for interviews, if they get a question like this, okay, what's the take of US on that, what's the take of China, they can at least have some background. Okay, Saudi Arabia on oil premium charge. What is oil premium charge? They are selling us costly by 60 cents a barrel. Saudi Arabia is selling oil to Asian countries by 60 cents per barrel more. So this is, they are charging a premium, which is called oil premium charge. So how does it impact? Oil महंगा आएगा, accordingly everything, import will be higher, cost of production will be higher, our goods will be higher, जो कि market में competitive नहीं होंगे. So that is why this premium is a issue. Now why they charge us premium? This is a very complex mechanism. मैंने खुद बहुत आसान करके खुद समझा है, जो समझा है वो बता सकती हूँ. So it's a very like complex thing. See, we have been into this correction, matlab we have been asking Saudi Arabia since 2004 only to correct this premium thing. They have been charging, and we have been saying since 2004. There, like 2004 के around, Arjun Sen Gupta Committee for Oil Diplomacy and Energy Security हमने बनाई थी. तब से, if you want, you can write it down. 2004-5 के around, just check it. Around 2004 or 5, just check it. Arjun Sen Gupta Committee for Oil Diplomacy and Energy Security. These two terms you can write down, then I'll explain. Formula pricing and marker group system. Because of the system that we follow in oil pricing, these two systems, we are being penalized. Asian countries are being penalized, they are being charged more, and the developed nations are charged less. They are being offered discounts. Now what happened is, like earlier जो था, there were long term contracts होते थे oil के लिए, pricing के लिए, like for so many years, like say for 10 years we are going to give you oil for this and this rate, चाहे वो बढ़े चाहे घटे, whether it increases or decreases, this long term contract has been signed, we will give you by this only. But under marker group system, what happened? The regions were divided into 3 groups. They were marked into 3 groups. One was your Europe, one was your US, and one was your Asia. 3 groups were geographically, 3 groups were marked. So what happened? 3 group बना दिए, and this US and Europe, their markets are more developed. Their markets are more developed. Why? Because they have more options. उनके पास more options हैं. Say for example, जैसे इंडिया में, why this your mobile is so cheap? Because so many players are in the market. So वहाँ पे यूरोप एंड अमेरिका में what happened? Like they had more options. अगर more options होगा, competitiveness ज़्यादा होगा, तो naturally price stability easily हो जाती है. But एशियन कंट्रीज़ के पास उतने डेवलप्ड मार्केट्स नहीं हैं और यहाँ पे प्राइस स्टेबिलिटी उतनी आसानी से नहीं होती है. एंड यहाँ पे जो प्राइसिंग होता है वो स्पॉट प्राइसिंग पे करते हैं. व्हाट इज स्पॉट प्राइसिंग इकोनॉमिक टर्म? करंट प्राइस. तो अगर प्राइस कम हुआ तो कम हो जाएगा, ज़्यादा हुआ तो ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. तो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस, बिकॉज आवर मार्केट्स आर नॉट डेवलप्ड एंड देयर आर नो मोर कॉम्पिटिटर्स, तो हमारे यहाँ प्राइस स्टेबल होने में प्रॉब्लम हुई. एंड दैट इज़ वाई नाउ वी आर लुकिंग टू डाइवर्सिफाई आवर मार्केट्स. आर ऑयल का जो हमारा बास्केट है, नाउ वी आर डाइवर्सिफाइंग इट. वी आर गोइंग टू ईरान. अर्लियर वी वर ऑल डिपेंडेंट ऑन Saudi Arabia only, but now we are going to Japan, we are going, now we are going to Iran, now we are going to Nigeria भी जा रहे हैं. So we are looking Brunei. So there are different options. That is why, like those markets, developed markets, we also want to have more competitors so that prices can be stabilized and for the very best of the consumers. So this is Saudi oil premium charge because of these two systems. Because if you want to read in detail, you can read it, but there is no point. See, UPSC exam you have to be very smart. Time waste नहीं करना है. You should know कि कितना आना चाहिए और कितना नहीं. Otherwise, they are not looking for the people who are doing research in these pricing or research in any particular subject. You should be, your GS syllabus clearly says. Earlier we were dependent on only one region, but now we are diversifying. अभी अफ्रीका की भी, and I said कि हम ये वाला टॉपिक इसके साथ करेंगे. 4th India African Hydrocarbon Conference. So we are diversifying. Earlier अगर हम supposingly if I have a dependency on you only, so you can do whatever you want. But if you know कि if you are giving me something at a higher cost, I will go to him. So that is there, more competitiveness ला रहे हैं. तो इसी के context में that 4th Africa, that thing, what is that? 4th Africa Hydrocarbon Conference, read about that. It's basically points that you need to read. Apart from that, what I said was North Korea, yeah? North Korea ने क्या किया? बम फोड़ा, hydrogen bomb, and the main concerns were like USA and China. USA and China, their respective heads or the concerned persons from both the countries, they met, and USA was in favor of going for more sanctions. USA want कि हम इसमें और sanctions ले आए नॉर्थ कोरिया में, but the China disagreed. China is saying sanction is no use. Had it been sanctions, then North Korea could not have even tried this thing. So we don't want to go for sanctions, but USA says we should go for, USA and Japan, they are in favor of going for more sanctions because they said कि हम ईरान में किया, see the result. Now Iran is back on track. Similarly, we should go for more sanctions on North Korea. But China is saying sanction is not an solution. Is not a solution, so it does not want more sanctions, and at the same time it also is like China is also worried कि if we go for more sanctions, then there might be problem of migration to China. People from North Korea might migrate to China, so that is also one of the concerns which China is showing कि बहुत ज़्यादा sanction में हम नहीं जाएंगे. It might lead to worst effects, adverse effects, and at the same time people might migrate to China also, which will be China's trouble. So that this thing is going on. So I think जो चीज़ें थी, things have been clear to you, I hope. And if you have any problem, please give me a call or come over to the institute, we can discuss. Or you can mail me also. ID. See, international relations are very interesting thing, provided you develop interest. Now we are going to have social issues. So just wait.